What is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel. Now my body is very sore after yesterday's leg session. First legs, oh, hopefully I don't get copyrighted, la 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 la. Where is the gym from? Pause that a second. Again, I think this is still the copyright-free playlist. Let me just make sure, no it wasn't. Again, don't want to get demonetized even though I'm not at that stage yet, but fingers crossed one day in the future maybe. Let's put some no copyright rock metal playlist on. Is it going to focus on that? But yeah, very sore after yesterday's leg session. My hamstrings, quads and glutes are feeling very sore, and obviously the run as well. So they're a bit tender. But thankfully today is an upper body day, upper body strength day. Okay, I'm back at the work gym. Just the schedule today. In the future I would like to go to pure gym so I can do a bit of ski work and just a bit more high rock specific upper body work there. But because today's an easy week, or I would say easy week, ease in week, I'm just going to do some bench and some upper body bodybuilding. Again, keeping things on these days, very low volume, 4 movements, maybe 6, including arm work. But as you can tell by the title of the video, I'm just going to take you through some bench tips, although I'm nowhere near the biggest bencher or will ever be in the world, but these are some tips and mistakes I've seen that you can fix to help you start pressing more weight. Now the first thing to say when benching is the rack height. You want the rack set so that you're able to keep your shoulders back and down, so retracted and depressed, and have a slight bend in the elbow so you can just lift off and judge in that perfect position, allowing you to keep your shoulders back and that arch. This is going set too high for me anyway, because I have little T-Rex arms, so the show looks like when it's set too high. So if I try and keep my shoulders back and down, go to my usual bench grip, again I'm going to have to reach off with my shoulders already coming forwards there before I get in position. Obviously when you got weight on the bar, it's going to be a lot harder to try and get those pinned back. That's just a bit rough on the shoulders, trying to pin them back when you've already got weight there. So pop that back. So I'm going to drop them down. I'm on. Good thing about this rack as well, this powerlifting rack, is it's got numbers on, so it's easy to remember. Whereas in most commercial gyms, we've only got 2 or 3 heights you can choose from. And for me, I am nowhere near either of the heights. This number 6 is ideal for me. I'll show you again. Shoulders back and down. Slight bend of the elbow. I'm able to just slight press up and in position, keeping my shoulder blades where they should be. Next up is grip width. Now that's something I have to tell a lot of our members, is to widen their grip. Now you want to widen your grip so that your elbow stays under your wrist. And this will allow you to keep that force transfer straight into that bar and not put any pressure elsewhere. As a lot of our members be too narrow and they'll bring the bar down so that their wrists are inside their elbows, which can put a lot of pressure on the wrist. Now there's a test you can do to find your ideal grip width, and that is standing nice and upright. Go stand behind the bench. Again, stand upright, feet shoulder apart, hands straight down by your sides, thumb width from the pocket, and then from there, that should be your ideal grip width. So for me on the bar, this is where I tend to bench now anyway, which is pinkies just outside or just on the ring. Now if you're a competitive powerlifter, or I believe the maximum limit you can do is little finger, index finger on the ring. The wider grip you are, the less distance the bars travel. Again, I'll show you what my grip looks like. So this pinky is just outside the ring. Hopefully this is not too much crotch cam, hopefully I've got the hidden with this angle. Up, elbows tucked, down, press. Hopefully that was keeping my elbow under my wrist, and hopefully you didn't hear that clicking in my shoulder because I clicked on every single rep. Now another little safety tip when you're benching solo, or especially when benching solo, is to not use the clips. Although I do have the safeties here set up, if you're benching solo, not use the clips so that if you do get pinned and for whatever you can't use your safeties, you can just tip the bar off and the weight should slide off easily and you'll be able to save yourself that way and have the bar crushing your ribcage. Now this one has a little pet peeve of mine. Not saying don't do touch and go, but is when you do it, stop using your chest like a trampoline and just really bouncing the bar off. So you want to be nice and controlled in the eccentric. The analogy I like to use with the bench press is comparing the bench press with a spring. Now if you have a coiled spring and you pull it down really fast and let go, it's just going to fire in whatever direction it chooses, but if you control it down slowly and then let go, more often than not, it's just going to bounce straight back up, which is what you want to do with the bench press. So imagine you've got the coil, controlling it down, right tap in the chest, and then pressing up. Also with the inertia of the bar, if that bar's momentum is still coming down, you'll try and press against it, it's going to be a lot harder to press it up. What I mean by this is, in position, back in the bar, again, tucking the elbows in, imagine loading a coil, press. And that also helps get the lats involved as well. Like imagine you're bending the bar, loading that coil, and then springing it up. Load the coil, spring. The final tip or mistake I see is not using leg drive. Once the weight starts to roll, or once your plate starts to roll, the leg starts to flail up and come off the floor. Now as you get set up, you want to set your feet as well. Now depending on what federation you're in, you can't have your heels up off the floor or feet flat. I always recommend just keeping the feet flat for everyone, because I've got the ability to keep their feet back here. So what I recommend is having your feet just under or slightly behind your knees as you get set, and then as you bar pressing the chest, imagine you're trying to extend your legs forward, prolong the leg extension. So what this does, it pushes your traps and back into the bench, allowing your shoulders to stay in that subtracted and depressed position, allowing it to maintain that arch. So that leg drive power can go straight into that bar and help press the weight up. It also helps you maintain stability and rigidity. What? Rigidity. What the f? Can't even say that word. Allows your body to stay stable and rigid as you press. What that looks like is, feet, I have to judge by how I see this. I think I can see myself with my feet under my knees. Get my shoulders screwed back and down. And my down to the chest just before I press. I can try to extend my knees forwards, up from my leg extension, down, extend. Hopefully those tips helped and will help you press more weight. Probably a lot of you can press a lot more weight than I can. The bench and me have always been nemesis. It's just something it's always been up and down. I've always struggled with it, but slowly getting there. It's been slowly creeping back up to what I was last year. But there is still a long way to go for me to be build that strength. But now it's time to add some more weight and carry with my session. Just 2 sets of 60%. Get those done, then we'll move on to the rest. On to my favourite back accessory, the Incline bench row. Now this and the zero. I've set up the zero here before using 2 benches and these 2 blocks, but it is a bit dangerous up. But setting this box up for dumbbells has been a game changer, rather than trying to sort of hold the weight, straddle bench and get in position, which is quite scary. So as you can see, these benches tip a lot. So I recommend you giving this a go, putting the block in front, have the dumbbells on, and then you can just quite simply slide off and go straight into your rows. Well, it can be a bit tedious having to put them on after each set, but it's definitely worth it. Not need to fat around out facing on the bench. Now my main pressing accessory on the strength day is going to be an Arnie Press for now, because I feel like my shoulders, I don't feel it. I know they have been neglected for a very long time due to my shoulder injury and I'm not having full range in that shoulder, but it's something I am working on. I just feel Arnie Press works you through a bit more range, a bit more movement due to that rotation. Nothing crazy, these just a couple of sets of 8 reps, keeping things nice and light. Try to make sure I finish over the crown of my head. Get the shoulders back, but getting this right shoulder crunching an awful lot. There's not much pain, just tiny switches. A good thing, right? Then when I feel this next set, see if you can actually hear that crunching in the shoulder. was nasty, probably hurt on a few of those reps, but hopefully that eases up in the next couple of weeks. Probably look into a physio or go and get a massage at some point before I compete. Maybe we can get one soon, because even though I'm a few days back in, I'm already sore, so it'll be good to get like a full body MOT. But now on to second back movement, just some banded pull downs, 3 sets of max reps. Be limited by the number of bands you have. If you haven't got a machine, or keep threatening to buy a cable pulley, so might as well just pull the plug on that, pull the pin on that, and just get it, so we can do some more stuff with that. What I'm using here is just one of the legs from the sled, which is easy to grab, which makes it almost like a fat grip. That's pull down, so it gets a bit of grip work as well. Also, thankfully, no members have let go, and it's not pinned the top of this yet, which I'm kind of waiting to happen, but hopefully not for a while, but I'm not yet. Just finishing the session with some farmer's carries, and yes, that was me flying the drone in the gym, just because I thought, why not, when I get a cool show, I try out. Although it was kicking off or beeping because everything was very close by. I was going to share a tip on the grip for the farmer's carries. So most people think just like grip it and go, get a full grip. You want almost false grip it so it rests across the palm of your hand, and then sits between the palm of your hand and the bottom of the underside of your knuckles, your fingers. So when you pick it up, so almost false grip it, pick it up, so it'll just hang there and takes a lot of pressure off of the forearms rather than trying to grip it and just engage all these muscles. So that's what I'd recommend. Look your hands under, let it slide slightly, and then up, and then walk. And just like that, we are back at home to a starving dog who's probably only just finished his lunch. But I had to cut the session a little bit short, or the filming short, because members started turning up for the class I was about to coach. Turned up a little bit early, but after those farmers carries, just finished a session with some skull crushers and barbell curls. So that's going to be my session for the foreseeable. Give or take some ski erg when I get the chance to go to the other gym. But time for a quick wee bit of lunch. I think I'm going to have my sort of omelette sandwich, because the fridge is looking a bit bare meat wise and whatever wise. Have you ever looked there still? Not had a chance to go for a proper shop since coming back from holiday. Battery died then, or so it seems. I've been using some sort of knockoff batteries. These and are gone. Is it gonna focus? And I noticed last week when I was away, I'd have these in and try and film, and the battery would just cut out, or I'd try and take a picture and it'd say change the battery pack, whereas before that they'd both been fine. So I don't know if I need to get an actual Canon battery as spares, or something's just wrong with the settings. That was very bright. So if you're good with cameras and that, let me know in the comments what I need to do. But anyway, I've lost my train of thought. I think I said I was going to have some lunch, my leg omelette with some bagels, feed and walk Mr. Odin, who's wasting away after not eating for about an hour, and then head back to work for an evening on coaching. Hope you've enjoyed this video. You've taken some tips from it if you watched it all the way through, and you're able to go forth and make some bench press gains. So if you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you're new, smash that subscribe, and as always, I will catch you in the next one. Peace.